This video is sponsored by the good folks at Armarkat. Thanks, Armarkat. Changing a cat's environment changes their life. Exploring vertical territory, owning all of it, exercising body and mind, and strengthening the bond between you and them. All this can be accomplished by catifying your home. Kate, Benjamin, and I were so inspired that we wrote 2 books on it. We've catified entire homes, animal shelters, and rescues, and now we want to catify your room. We decided to have a contest. You show us a room in your home that needs catifying and why, and along with our friends at Armarkat, we'll catify your room. After reviewing hundreds of incredible submissions and the stories behind them.
Hi, Jackson.
Hi, Jackson. Hi, Jackson Galaxy.
Jackson, can you catify our room?
I hope you choose us.
Would you please help me out?
We're
Would you
really
please help
excited
me
to
out?
see
Catify
you.
our
Give us
room.
some
Please
great
catify
ideas.
my room.
We felt that there was one clear winner.
Hi Jackson, hi Kate. This is Kibbs, and I'm on an E. We're gonna show you around and then tell you a little bit about ourselves.
We had so many great submissions, but Kate and I were seriously moved by the story of Anai and Kibbs, the trauma they endured together, and the potential for healing that a catified space could provide.
Kibbs came to me in early 2020. Her parents moved away and decided not to take her. I did have another cat at the time, my very first girl, Yuka. This past February, Yuka died very suddenly. She was only 4 years old. I was there when it happened. We don't know what caused it, but I did promise her that I would keep doing better for Kibbs and I.
I mean, can you imagine that? At 4 years old? Just like that? It's everyone's worst nightmare, I'm sure of it.
So after that, we both had to adjust. Kibbs did search for her for a while as we grieved. And then a few months after that, Kibbs got really sick and she was covered in scabs and she wasn't eating and her weight got down to like 6.6 pounds. And she's a small cat already. So we went to the vet, we went to the ER, they sent us to a dermatologist. Turns out that she had an autoimmune condition that just popped up, pemphigus foliaceus. Hasn't reoccurred. We got her on steroids for a little while, she's off them now, and I've been working on, feeding her and getting her back up to weight, which she is. So we're all good now, we're doing great.
What a dedicated cat guardian.
I am considering getting her a friend, getting another cat, but I definitely wouldn't want to do that unless I was able to properly catify the space, since it's a small space, and she's a little bit of a spicy girl.
Clearly, they love these cats.
This has got to be it, don't you agree? I mean, this is why we do this.
Yes,
know?
the human and cat bond. I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's how the environmental design can affect that. It's huge.
You're absolutely right.
All right, so I guess that was goodbye. Thank you so much, Jackson and Kate. Here's some jumping cat to take us out.
I mean, we have a Catification Challenge winner. So the goal is we do this, they put in no money, and we get this in at $500.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
That's the Catification Challenge right there. $500 all in. Doable?
I think so.
Well, the good thing is our friends at Armarkat have taken up the Catification Challenge with us, and they're putting up that $500 worth of Armarkat goods for Anai's place. So I think that gets us to a pretty good place, don't you think?
Yes, that will be a huge help. We can do it. We can absolutely do it.
Yeah.
And I know Armarkat will love being part of a really cool transformation like this.
And the beginning of the next chapter of their story. So we had our winner, and we couldn't wait to tell them the good news. Welcome, Annie. How are you?
Good. It's really good to meet you guys.
Well, listen, Kate and I wanted to let you know that you are the winner of the Catification Challenge.
Whoa, wait.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna process for a second here. Wow, thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you first and foremost for setting this amazing example.
There's a lot of great potential. We've seen that you've already done some things, and that's a great sign. So yes, it means you know how to hang things on the walls. It means you're committed, you're willing to do this. we have some questions for you today to kind of give us some more information that we need. And we want to take another little bit of a look around the room and just kind of get into the details.
While talking to Anai about what they envision for their space, we also got more background on Yuka's sudden passing and the aftermath of that tragedy. I just want to make sure, at this point in your life, that you may be ready to start thinking about introducing someone new into the home.
Yeah, I have the space for like 2 cats if I deck the place out, particularly because she is a little they're all territorial, but she can be a little spicy. Yeah, her and Yuka never got into like bad fights, but she would like chase her around a little bit. I think I didn't have enough stuff. I didn't have enough stuff for both of them.
Resources, right?
Yeah, it was always like Yuka would go up on her box, and then this one would like scratch at the bottom of it.
We know that she can get along with other cats, and can we just touch on, and I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of your cat that passed. What was the name?
Yeah. Her full name was Iuka Joto. It means nature, but I just called her Iuka.
And Yuka, she passed when?
In February.
This year?
This past February. Yeah, it was like 6 days before my birthday and 5 days before I had to leave the country to get a surgery and leave this one. So, it was a crazy time. I came home from an errand, I sat down, she was like rubbing against my legs, when I rubbed against like a door, and then just like her back legs just like jumped for a second, like seized up, and then she flopped over. And I ran her to the vet. And that was it. Yeah, it was really rough. She was the first cat that I ever got. 1 second. Yeah, I got her as a kitten. And she would come when I whistled. I taught her to come when I whistled, which was lovely. And I also slept in a hammock when I got her, so anytime I got into my hammock, suddenly there was just a cat. And she was really, really cozy up there and would drool on me, smush her face up into me, and she was a complete sweetheart.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kibbs definitely had some time adjusting and just being like, where's my companion? Where's that other creature that I interact with? And
wow, man, I'm so sorry all over again. I'm sorry to make you relive that again.
Okay. Oh, it's okay.
And I'm only asking this because, if you had to think about the age of a cat that comes in.
No, I actually do want to get someone around her age and around her activity level.
Without over explaining, but we're gonna catify for that as well. Also, okay, a couple questions I had. Kibbs is, if you had to classify Kibbs as the tree dweller or the bush dweller, does she really love getting up on things? So that's why I figured you had created so much up there.
So right now she's really comfortable everywhere, but she does love going up high.
Okay, so some questions. Let's just pretend you're just swinging in the hammock and you look around and you see one thing in terms of Kibbs and your home, and you see her and it's something that just makes you happy. What would it be? Just a snapshot and right off the top of your head.
I would love Kibbs up somewhere and right next to a cat-friendly plant. Just her little rosemary, her little basil, her little catnip, just chilling by some leaves.
This is your space. So whatever we do, it's respectfully with take what we got, do what you will. We're gonna give you the catification sort of philosophical backbone to everything that we tell you to do. And then of course, you take it from there. We're gonna get to work. I think we both probably are percolating with ideas, so we're gonna start making that happen. And we'll jump back on with you, let you know what our ideas are, what you can be expecting to be sent to you, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll talk to you in just a little bit then?
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you both so much. This was fun.
Bye, Annie. We'll see you soon. Well, that was fun.
Yay! I'm excited.
I am too. They are the coolest person. I am really, truly excited to work for them.
And the thing that I love is their desire to be minimal, right? Because it's so much easier to catify when there is no clutter, especially if you're bringing another cat in. You know, it's when the stuff builds up in the corners of your house that creates trapping zones. It creates just chaos in your mind. It's kind of chaotic for everybody. So I think that that makes it even easier to create a clear catification plan.
And there is a flip side to their minimalistic approach, because I was hoping that we'd have all this stuff we could repurpose, or that we could, you know, there ain't a lot. There's that part of our work where obviously we got the $500 to spend, and Armarkat is being just so incredibly generous with letting us pick anything in the catalog to bring over to Anai's house. I think the best thing we can do is get cracking. How do you want to do this?
Let me bring up some things to show you so that we can sort of visualize the space a little bit better. And I do have an idea that I started working on, okay?
And now the process begins. We take the information we have, we check everything off that catification checklist, make sure the needs of human and cat are met, and still leave room for some new fun discoveries along the way. So great, man. So great. I love that. And it's so great looking too, you know? And you know what else I love about that is you've created that on-ramp to the rest of the space. If we're bringing in another cat, diffuse any territorial stuff that could be going on around the litter box, because they can get up and out. So I do love that. Of course, no process is perfect, and sometimes you encounter a roadblock like this one, which feels like it's going to bring the whole thing to a grinding halt.
Here's the question. Do we want to continue extending over this?
Yeah, it's getting really complicated. I don't know.
This is what they were alluding to, but we don't necessarily have to do that.
What we're hoping to give them is not necessarily the be-all, end-all finished. We're hoping that we give a beautiful sort of skeleton here. Let's concentrate on those bones, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's really important to just remember that it's not all about the fine details. Kate and I are here as a vehicle so that Anai has the opportunity to execute on that vision they have, that perfect moment with Kibbs. That in itself is a pretty beautiful thing. I didn't think that we were actually going to be able to connect the dots all the way around this room, and it looks like that came together. I feel pretty excited about it. You?
Yeah, I think they're going to really like it.
I mean, I think, you know, we have a little bit of time to handiness, which, let me tell you, all the power to you. That's not my world, but that's executable. And I think we're going to get there. Kate now had the unenviable task of taking all of our ideas and turning them into an actual design. But she did it. A few short days later, the design was dialed in, and we were ready to show it to Anai. All right, Kate, you ready?
All right, so let's
Kate, you ready? Drum roll.
Boom.
And there it is.
Here's
wild.
All right, so let's break it down. We're really focused on that big blank wall. You had indicated that you were really looking at doing something on that wall, but also it makes the most sense because that's your main traffic flow where you're walking. So putting stuff up on the walls, moving that bookshelf really allows people to walk, but then takes full advantage of the vertical space for cats. So let's start over here at the front door wall. Armarkat has been so generous to let us pick what we wanted out of the catalog. So we're starting with one of their really cool cat trees over here. And these are made of solid wood. They should be able to go up the tree onto the top shelf. And then these three pieces right here are a set that Armarkat sells, but now they can go on the top of the bookshelf up to here, inside, or up to the top. And then they can continue around this little walkway. These are these little shelves from IKEA that cost $3 each. This is a really cool little 3-step thing from Armarkat that also has the sisal wrap holes for scratching. And now this is where we create multiple lanes in the superhighway. So if you did have multiple cats, somebody coming down here could go across this pole and over to these shelves, or continue down the steps and onto these hexagons, and then out onto the ground or inside. The hexagons all connect so that cats can kind of play in here. And it's nice to have those down near the ground because it makes it easier for them to jump in and out from the ground. And then some more of these little IKEA shelves here that create this kind of a corner climber. So cats can kind of just hop up, and then that continues this extra path along so that we have multiple lanes.
There was a lot of thinking about this because when we're prepping for 2 cats in this space, so that's why the hexagons are also where they are. So if someone's in the box and someone else comes up and says, hold on a second, that's mine, then that cat can jump out on the floor, out, up. So we're giving as much perceived exit route as we possibly can.
So question for the spacing and stuff, like, do you have like a general guideline of what's too far or too close?
I usually, when I'm going like from one step up to the next, I kind of think about cat eye level when they're standing. So like, it's usually 9, 10, 12 inches, because then they don't have to jump up to see what's on the next level.
And one thing that we took into consideration as we were doing this was, Kib's about to be double digits, and you're going to want to, you expressed that you wanted to adopt somebody around the same age, which means you're going to be living in a senior house in just a little bit. So any jumps should be considered when it comes to what it's going to be like, a year from now.
Oh, wow, it looks really, really good. That's really, really fun. I love the little hexagons and the like corner steps, just because I think she's really gonna like that, and all the different ways for them to move around.
The beautiful thing about this is that over the span of a few months, you're going to figure out very quickly what Kib's vibes with and what is just not working, and then you would repeat certain elements in the other room. It's amazing how the space actually works pretty well as a introduction zone, because with the addition of a tall gate in the middle, in the hallway, feeding zones are easy and site swapping is easy. But again, we're trying to make that introduction as easy as we can. So all of our stuff from our friends at Armarkat are going to be coming your way very shortly, and let us know how things are progressing. And now you see what a cat using hexagons looks like right behind right behind Kate.
There's already a cat in there, so.
There was a paw that just came out like, nope, not here, buddy. Nope. Keep us looped in to the process. Send us videos, send us pictures, reach out, because we want to make this as painless as possible.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure to meet you both.
Pleasure to meet you. There's sort of like a little hug going on here, and we will see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
So Kate and I had done our jobs. Then we had to turn it over to Anai to get to work, and they went above and beyond. From repainting their entire space to dyeing their new Armarkat products with homemade berry dye. There were so many things. We just couldn't wait to see how everything came together.
The day is upon us, yes?
Yes, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
If I know them at all, I know they've been working hard. All right, so let's get watching.
They painted.
Look at that.
That looks fantastic.
I told you.
The color is gorgeous.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
So do you see the color of the Armarkat?
Yeah.
You know what they did there? They used a natural berry stain.
Oh,
perfect.
That's right, because the Armarkats come totally unfinished.
Yes, and so it was an all-natural berry stain that they made. And so it's this beautiful, they made this, it's from berries.
That is outstanding. That the way those shelves are staggered is just fantastic. He was doing the scratch. This is like, woo! This is mine. I own this now. That stuff really looks amazing in that apartment. It looks so natural, You can teach someone to catify. You can't teach the aptitude, as you can well attest to, because can you imagine if this was me?
Not gonna happen.
Now, what do you say? Let's talk to Annie, because honestly, Someone deserves some props, man. Someone deserves some props. All right.
Hi guys.
Bravo. Bravo. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really, really good. It's been super nice. She's having a lot of fun, and my space just it feels more like home for both of us. So
From my point of view, one of the most beautiful parts of this whole thing is as we're watching like the time lapse of the building, every time you turn around, Kip's just like, "Are you done yet? Because I want to sleep there," and like pays no attention to you. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna sleep there." It's so great.
every time I put a new piece up, she was like, "I'm going up right now." Like right now.
Yeah.
The minute I was done.
Armarkat really hit it out of the park with those pieces.
Especially in such a small space, making so much extra room. I mean, it's a 2-story apartment now, right?
Yeah, basically. 3, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me where your thoughts are now about cat number 2.
Like, I've been looking at cats on Pet Finder and everything, and I do still want to get another cat. I think it would I would like to be able to help out another cat and like have another companion. I also think it might help her to have another cat in the house.
Who's the cat that you're picturing that would go really well for kids?
I think a cat who's not super high strung but confident and has plenty of experience with other cats is like I think that like main little bubble, because if they're too shy, she's gonna think they're prey. She's gonna do it. She's gonna chase them. But if they're confident enough to like play back and have that ability to socialize, I think she'll actually play instead of just predate, be a predator.
As opposed to treating another cat like a toy, right?
Yeah, instead of treating another cat like a toy. So that's kind of like the vibe we're going for.
I'm really happy for you guys. I really am.
Thank you. No, this has been an awesome experience, and I really, really appreciate like you guys just helping and talking to me and sending me everything, Armarkat too, and like just thinking about like how to make our lives better, because they are.
When we first met Anai, they told us they saw this contest as an opportunity to be vulnerable and ask for help. And as we got to know them better, we realized the gravity of that ask was to help them navigate the loss of Yuka and leave room for their vision of a perfect moment with Kibbs. And that is the power of catification. Good design isn't about throwing a fresh coat of paint over things you'd like to forget. It's about creating a space to honor our past, to live fully in the present moment, and to set intentions for the future. And that is my hope for Anai and the rest of us. That this whole messy, beautiful, complex, painful, ecstatic chaos that is life can play out in front of us while we lie in a hammock and watch our loved ones walk down the cat superhighway. Meow.